All right, the first big casualty of the NCAA tournament, the bluest of blue bloods, the Kentucky Wildcats stunned once again in the first round. And this has led to massive questions and really hard decisions moving forward for this Wildcats program. Is it time to move on from head coach John Calipari? It's been a disastrous 4 years. They've been bounced in the first round 2 of the last 3 years, including losses to a 14 seed and a 15 seed, just one tournament win since the pandemic. It's been an awful situation for Kentucky basketball, and head coach John Calipari may have just worn out his welcome. Now, I'm a guy who's like Coach Cal. I'm not really against it. I get there's a lot of hate for him. I don't love him when he's playing my squad in the SEC, but I think he's a great basketball coach. He's won it everywhere he's been to, taking small mid-major type programs to the Final Four. Now, does he leave a disaster in his wake behind him? But now with the NIL structure, the one and done setup seems to have been completely burned out. He put all his eggs onto one basket. He's done zero adapting whatsoever. And maybe the game has just passed him by. This has been the last few years of legendary coaches, legendary players, and the sports have just gone by them, and they are dinosaurs, essentially. I mean, his in-game coaching adjustments have been horrendous. I mean, watching that game yesterday, there's plenty of videos out there fully breaking down the complete lack of coaching and ineptitude by his players. This roster is full of 4 and 5 stars, and they're getting lit up for 32 by a future high school basketball coach, Jack Golke. I mean, come on, man. The guy is killing you. Nobody's rotating. Nobody's stepping out. They look lost out there. And Cal, does he take responsibility for this loss? Absolutely not. He kind of passes it off like, oh, blah, 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 the kids, we don't know how they're going to adapt. They're freshmen. We don't. Dude, it's every single year, it feels like, with you. Now, Cal started off super strong since being hired at Kentucky in 2009. He did win his national championship. He's got multiple Final Fours, lots of Elite Eights. I mean, he was rolling good. He was doing good, had only missed one tournament. He was cooking. In 2019, makes the Elite Eight, signs a lifetime contract. That's going to play into what we talk about next. But then after the tournament's canceled due to COVID, he misses the tournament in 21, gets bounced by St. Pete's, the 15 seed in 22, loses in the second round of Kansas State last year, and then another first round exit this year. Now, Calipari's been the longest tenured coach for Kentucky basketball since the legendary Adolph Rupp, and maybe he has just worn out his welcome. His message is getting stale, I would say, but he doesn't have any old people on his team. Everybody on his team is a young athlete who's like a pit stop at Kentucky. And the guy last night, Jack Golke's 24 years old. The guy's like 50, basically, in the terms of college basketball. This was the style. This was the philosophy when he won that national championship. It's all about the one and dones. We think about those great Kentucky teams. He has a list of NBA guys, and people want to go there because he produces NBA talent. But as far as long-term success, he has really struggled when it comes to these big-time games, big-time spots. He pushes the blame off on his players being too young, not knowing if he can trust them. That's on you. That's on you as a head coach. That's on the coaching staff. So what would it take for Kentucky to move on for Cal? Like I said, he signed that lifetime contract back in 2019, and he's due 75% of the value of that contract, purportedly, at least what's left on it. Now, there's some conflicting reports. Some people are saying 33 million. Others are reporting it's a lot closer to 35 million, which is an absolutely insane buyout number for a college basketball coach. But then again, Kentucky really ain't that kind of football program, so maybe they can spend that money somewhere. But the fans are fed up. They're sick and tired of it. Don't get me wrong, Kentucky fans are kind of spoiled, clueless, all over the place. Not a fan of the Kentucky fans, but still, this is a proud blue blood program. And when you've had massive struggles like this for the last 4 seasons, usually that means your time is up. I don't know if Calipari could ever coach college basketball again. Let me rephrase that. He can coach college basketball again, but I don't know if he's ever going to be that guy that can adapt with the times, take his program to the next level if he moves over there, get them into consistent Elite 8, Sweet 16, Final Fours, a national championship, because that is his standard. I just don't know if he can do it anymore. It's amazing how far Kentucky has fallen off. Now, Kentucky used to be elite in these big games. Like I showed you the tournament success. They were great against ranked opponents. They've been abysmal the last 4 years, like 11-18 against ranked opponents. They have one SEC tournament win in that time frame. They were one and done again this year, losing to my Aggies. It's just crazy to think about how far this Kentucky team has fallen. And maybe the pandemic broke him. Maybe the game has just passed him by. But I think it would be best for Kentucky to move on from Cal. He could probably get a cushy desk job. Why would you want to coach? He's 65 years old. Just get a nice job with Jay Wright, and that would be a very hot job. But then again, the standard is the highest of high standards with Kentucky basketball. Like I showed you, let me just go through this, show this. A lot of short tenure. You know, Billy Gillespie's crazy ass lasted 2 years. Tubby Smith had a good run, but he went out. Rick Pitino, decent, but there are insane standards. Both of these guys winning national championships over that time frame. Those are high standards. Eddie Sutton, Joe Hall, like, it's hard to win and stay at Kentucky. You have to be successful. You have to be as good as can be. So I'll be interested to see how this plays out. I think Cal is done in Kentucky. There were rumors before the tournament, and I think a lot of people expected this team to make a good and deep run, and it totally blew up in everybody's face. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is Cal going to get fired from Kentucky, or are they going to mutually agree to part ways? Do you think he'll coach college basketball again, or are we overreacting? Can he turn this thing around, get the Wildcats back to the national championship level? Let me know what you guys think. If you haven't already, drop a quick like on this video. Hit that sub button. We got new sports content every single day. If you want to support the channel more, sign up for a channel membership. You get access to all sorts of cool perks. Help support me, allows me to keep making this great content for you guys every single day. Again, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.